I'm Serenity and this is my channel and I'm joined here by Nova. Welcome back to another Ludicrous Atrocities. Today we're going to be talking about the Wisconsin cheese heist, which is actually probably one of the funniest cases I've ever learned about. It's just mind-boggling to know how much cheese was stolen on multiple different occasions. So let's get into it. Ludicrous Atrocities is a series on my channel where I find the most mind-boggling crimes ever committed, but the things these crimes all have in common is that they are mostly non-violent and the funniest crimes I have ever researched. They are much more lighthearted. Basically, I know for a lot of people, the true crime genre can be hard to stomach. Most of the time, you're hearing about the most deranged things happening to unsuspecting victims. This series is for those of you who want to get into the true crime genre but can't hear about violent crimes, so I've gathered a list of non-violent crimes that are just hilarious. Something illegal happened, but for the most part, in most of these stories, no one is harmed. At least not physically, maybe financially they are. It's supposed to be lighthearted, me telling you about a crime that hopefully teaches you a little bit of history and you walk away without a heavy true crime case on your mind. So today we're talking about the over $100,000 Wisconsin cheese heist. Buckle up, grab a blanket, a snack, a drink, and let's get into it. The United States of America, state of Wisconsin, is known for cheese. Seriously, people from there are even known as cheeseheads. On average, the state Wisconsin is the #1 cheese producing state, making 26% of the country's cheese. On average, cheesemakers use about 90% of Wisconsin milk supply to make more than 2.8 billion pounds of cheese every year. Wisconsin also has 1,290 licensed cheesemakers, more than any other state, and produces 600 varieties of cheese. In the early morning hours of January 22nd, 2016, in Germantown, Wisconsin, $70,000 worth of assorted cheese was stolen from a trailer which was storing it. The cheese was stolen from this trailer at 12:20 a.m. Workers found the trailer empty and abandoned later that very morning. The cheese wasn't missing for long though. It was later found that night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, less than 30 minutes southeast away from Germantown. Just a few days before the Germantown heist in Marshville, Wisconsin, almost 3 hours away from Germantown, $90,000 and 41,000 pounds of Parmesan cheese was stolen from a store which was never recovered. The cheese went missing from a storage facility. The Marshville shipment of cheese turned up about 2 weeks later at a storage warehouse near Appleton. So back to the Germantown heist, when a local cheese aficionado named Tyson Weirmester, who is also the co-owner and general manager and buyer for Mars Cheese Castle, which is a place that actually looks like a castle, learned about the thieves trying to sell the cheese for a low price, he had this to say: "We lost all this cheese for somebody who's a complete imbecile. I know a lot of cheesemakers that if they took that kind of hit, they'd be out of business. A cheese like that, not available for use, it saddens me." Mars's Cheese Castle itself was not a victim of the theft, but the outrage was palpable for fellow Wisconsin cheesemongers like Tyson. According to Tyson, the Germantown thieves' undoing was selling the cheese on the cheap. The thieves tried to hawk their contraband cheese for just $1 on a pound. Apparently, no self-respecting Wisconsin retailer would expect to pay so little, nor would they buy cheese to sell without knowing its source. Cheese is actually tracked by the FDA, USDA, and the Department of Agriculture, ensuring a cheese farm to table provenance. $70,000 in Parmesan weighs about 25,000 to 35,000 pounds. That's roughly the equivalent weight of about 240 cows, and officials say that it's more than a 1 or 2 man job. Given that federal agencies get involved in the sale of cheese, the crimes are federal in nature too. The trailer of cheese from Germantown turned up at a grocery store lot in Milwaukee. On June 30th, 2016, in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, a semi-truck that was carrying 20,000 pounds of cheese was stolen from a parking lot storage area in the early hours of the morning. The truck was carrying an estimated $46,000 worth of cheese. The driver was tasked to do the routine job of hauling 20,000 pounds of fresh Wisconsin cheese from Green Bay, Wisconsin to the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, about 2 hours south. The night the cheese was stolen, a semi-truck driver pulled into the Hoffman storage facility near Interstate 94. The Oak Creek business seemed to be a safe place to temporarily leave the trailer while the driver got the truck serviced. The property had video surveillance and a chain link fence. However, by 2 a.m. when the driver returned, the trailer was gone. Somehow, someone had made off with about $46,000 worth of stolen cheese. This was the 3rd incident of stolen cheese that year. Now, why would someone steal a truck stocked with thousands of dollars of yellow cheddar? Police and industry experts say it's all about the resale value. However, these are blocks of cheese. You can't just go door door to door and sell it. The thieves probably had buyers lined up to buy the cheese before it was stolen. This was an organized crime. According to J.J. Cullivan, the author of the 2012 book Cargo Crime, Security and Theft Prevention, someone stealing a truck of cheese intends to sell off the product to a small mom-and-pop's grocery or restaurant. However, now more than ever, it's increasingly difficult for black market smugglers to unload thousands of pounds of fresh cheese because the food regulatory industry has become wiser. It's inconceivable that a grocery store chain would buy a truck of cheese from someone, pulling into their loading dock, offering a discount deal. Packaged cheese is barcoded with a traceable trail to track the history of the food processing origin. Basically, it's practically impossible to sell a truckload of stolen cheese to a reputable grocery chain. Fortunately for the state of Wisconsin, the state is not regarded as a hotspot for cargo thefts. According to J.J. Cullivan, most cargo thieves operate in the South, where there are more mom-and-pop restaurants, convenience stores, and groceries. Smaller stores aren't part of the national or regional retail chain, often struggling to remain profitable. As such, there's a greater temptation for some of these little businesses to buy stolen merchandise by the bulk at a deep discount. Although large volume of cheese heists are rare, they have happened before in Wisconsin. We've already spoken about 3, but it happens a lot more than you think. In 2011, the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reported on a gang of 4 thieves who were charged with stealing a slew of semi-trucks over several months. Their stolen merchandise ranged from Nike sneakers to a tractor trailer in West Allis filled with mozzarella cheese. The 14-page criminal complaint offers a window into the network of cargo thieves. Most of their crimes happened late at night. On May 29, 2011, a blue minivan pulled up near the gate of AIM Transfer and Storage, a business on Milwaukee South 13th Street. Several men piled out and the van drove off. The men snuck around the corner to avoid the security cameras, where they cut a hole in the fence to gain access. Later, the group cut the lock and chain securing the gate. Around midnight, a tractor trailer filled with about $25,000 in stolen Nike shoes was driven off the lot. The theft wasn't discovered until the next day. By the time authorities figured it out, the shoes could be 2 to 3 states away. On June 4th, 2011, a tractor trailer stocked with $30,000 in fresh cheese was stolen from West Allis, the same city where the criminal ringleader lived. The tractor and trailer turned up 3 days later near Detroit, Michigan, but the shipment of mozzarella cheese was gone. It had been loaded into another truck that moved it to a warehouse in Detroit for safekeeping. The warehouse had close ties to the Milwaukee crime ring. Then on June 15th, 2011, the ringleader sold off his load of mozzarella cheese. The transaction took place in a hotel parking lot in Dearborn, Michigan, just 13 minutes away from Detroit. A few days later, on June 21st, 2011, the ringleader sold off 3,000 pairs of Nike shoes that ranged in retail prices to $60 all the way to $90 each. On June 26, 2011, a trailer with pallets of Chex Mix and Sharp Bites fruit snacks were reported stolen in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to police. The stolen cargo was worth about $50,000. Then almost 2 months later, on August 21st, 2011, a trailer with $100,000 worth of antifreeze and windshield wiper fluids was stolen in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. The thieves hooked up the stolen load to their own tractor and drove off the open lot. On August 28, 2011, a truck and trailer with $30,000 in salad dressing was stolen in West Allis, Wisconsin. A week later, on September 5th, 2011, a trailer filled with rock salt and a forklift inside was taken from an industrial park in New Berlin, Wisconsin. On September 18th, 2011, a blue Kenworth trailer was stolen in Milwaukee. Days later, police discovered it parked near the residence of one of the bandits. On October 3rd, 2011, the ring was foiled after police put a GPS tracker on the ringleader's Honda Odyssey van. When the van stopped, the driver and 3 other men in his crime network were arrested. The Oak Creek cheese heist has never netted any arrests. The 3 heists may have been committed by the same people or 3 different perpetrators. Because food gets stolen all the time and no one was arrested on any of the heists within a year, the thieves will probably never be caught. Like I mentioned, some of the cheese was recovered in one of the heists, but the damage was done. Because all of it had to be destroyed, police couldn't verify if any of the stolen cheese was properly stored while in the thieves' hands. Meanwhile, Wisconsin's cheese industry said it wasn't in danger of being put out of business by the thieves. Marshfield, Wisconsin police continued to monitor police bulletins around the country, figuring their bandit remains on the prowl for other valuable products within the freight industry, just like the 2011 ring of thieves near Milwaukee, who bartered in stolen beer, cigars, cheese, snack foods, candy bars, and even windshield wiper fluids before they met their end and went to federal prison. Cheese regulations have also gotten stricter in recent years, especially after all the cheese heists. That is all the information I have on this case. What do you think? I think it's actually kind of hilarious. No one was hurt particularly physically, but why would you steal so much cheese? And I was questioning it myself. I have 3 different types of cheese in my fridge. Right now I have feta, an Italian blend, and cheddar. They're all made in Wisconsin, but I also bought them all from Whole Foods, so that could be something else. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this case. It's really short, but I thought it was really entertaining because you never really think of products like shoes and cheese and wiper fluid being stolen and Chex Mix. So the doggo picture today is this picture of Titan sleeping on the bed. He is such a cutie pie. All right, love you, mina kisses. Don't do anything stupid, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.